Continue. Muzzle-loaded
guns
guns
with powder and bullets inserted
via
the end of the muzzle and pushed down using a ramrod. This imposed serious limitations on both accuracy and rates of fire. Lead shot would rattle around inside the barrel of a smoothbore musket, greatly reducing accuracy. Rifled barrels were designed to grip a bullet tightly and spin it. But these spiral grooves meant that muzzle loading required violently hammering the bullet down with a ramrod. Many potential solutions to this problem had been proposed, but it was not until just before the Crimean War that a breakthrough occurred.
This is you. Wait, no, this is you. And you want to conquer the world of Albion?
In 1849, two French army captains named Claude Etienne Minier and Henry Gustave Delvinia had invented the Minier ball. A cylindrical bullet with etched rings and a conical indentation at its base. When fired, hot gases pushed the thin lead walls of this indentation outwards, engaging the rifling and creating a hard seal. With chamber walls. Within 4 years, the French army had adopted the pattern Minier 1851 rifle and licensed the technology to the British, who implemented it in the form of the P-51 and P-53 Enfields. Although some older models were still in use, the Minier rifles were a powerful force multiplier on the battlefields of Crimea, being some of the very first guns to successfully combine high accuracy and long range with a high rate of fire in an affordable package. But while the Minier rifle was undoubtedly one of the most advanced mass-produced firearms of its time, it would soon be superseded by breech-loading rifles. Breech-loading guns could fire faster than any muzzle-loader, but were subject to their own suite of issues. The worst was that of hot gases escaping from the breech during powder ignition, lowering projectile velocity and potentially burning the shooter's face if firing from the shoulder. The Norwegian army was one of the first European powers to adopt a breech-loading rifle as its standard infantry weapon in the form of the M1842
in form of the M1842.
2. Kammerlader, which used a unique crank operated mechanism to tightly seal the breech prior to firing. But although the Kammerlader was an excellent design, the thick, heavy breech mechanism was destined for obsolescence. As the science of metallurgy advanced in leaps and bounds throughout the long 19th century. While the great powers of Europe were busy with the Crimean War, or the Kingdom of Prussia was busy looking to leapfrog ahead of its competitors by adopting the breech loading Zundnadelgewehr or needle ignition rifle, otherwise known as the Dresa needle gun, initially prototyped by Johann Nikolaus von Dresa in the 1820s. The needle gun used an innovative new bolt action mechanism that made it easy to load and fire in any position. Instead of using a hammer or serpentine, pulling the trigger caused a sharp metal needle to punch through the paper cartridge in a breech and detonate the percussion cap. Hence the term needle gun. The bolt action mechanism was lightweight, and the entire weapon could be easily field stripped in the heat of battle, allowing for the rapid replacement of damaged parts. This was an important addition, as Drace's design was at the bleeding edge of firearms technology. The needle was the most commonly replaced part of the mechanism, and the imperfect gas seal lowered overall performance. Nonetheless, the benefits of the needle gun vastly outweighed its early problems. And following the Crimean War, most European nations would adapt the design and bolt action features for their own standard infantry rifles. At this point, I'd like to take a brief moment to discuss some of the important considerations commanders of the day had when it came to new firearms. By far the biggest was logistics. Infantry rifles needed to be cheap and easy to mass produce. Prior to the invention of steel casing in the mid-1800s, firearms were hand-tooled, relying on skilled gunsmiths to produce consistent results. But even after the advent of mass production, military thinkers preferred to rely on centuries-old tactics. Conscript armies marched in mass formations. So the need for individual firepower was de-emphasized. More complex guns meant more training, making soldiers harder to replace.
making soldiers hard to replace. Oh, goodbye.